You ever wonder how some people walk into a room and the whole energy changes? They ain't richer than you. They ain't smarter than you, but they got something you ain't got: control over their mind. See, most people, they wake up like victims. Their alarm goes off and instantly their mind hijacks negative thoughts, self-doubt, regret, fear, anger. They don't even realize they're fighting a war every damn morning and losing. But here's the truth. If you don't control your mind will control you. And once it controls you, it owns your day, your actions, your habits, your entire life. You ever sit alone and your mind starts whispering, "You're not good enough. You can't do this. What if you fail?" That's not the truth. That's your undisciplined mind feeding you garbage. And if you don't take the wheel, you'll crash. Mentally, emotionally, financially. That's facts. Master your thoughts, because your thoughts shape your decisions. Your decisions shape your actions. And your actions, they define your reality. Your mind is a beast. If you train it, it'll fight for you. If you don't, it'll turn on you. No mercy. No warning. Just chaos. Let me ask you this. How many goals have you abandoned? Not because you couldn't do it, but because you thought you couldn't. How many relationships have you ruined? Not because they were toxic, but because your mind was. Every thought you allow in your head is a seed. Feed it and it grows. Feed fear, you'll live scared. Feed excuses, you'll stay stuck. Feed discipline, courage, self-respect, you'll rise. But here's the kicker. No one's coming to clean up your mental mess but you. Not your mom, not your friends, not your boss. You got to get in the ring with your own damn thoughts and swing. You want freedom. It ain't in money. It ain't in vacations. It's in mastery. Mastery over your mind. Because the one who conquers their thoughts conquers their world. Your mind is a battlefield, and every thought is a soldier. Some are trained, disciplined, and ready to follow orders. Others are wild, rogue, and dangerous. The problem is, most people don't even know there's a war going on inside them. They wake up every day and let those wild thoughts run free, doubts, fears, insecurities, jealousy, regret. And guess what? Those thoughts aren't just hanging out. They're building camps. They're forming strategies. They're attacking every dream, every plan, every ounce of confidence you've got. And you're just letting them. You're standing there outnumbered, outgunned, and unarmed, not because you're weak, but because you never learned to command. Picture this: you wake up late. First thought, I messed up again. Second thought, I'm always like this. Third, I'll never be successful. And just like that, without even getting out of bed, you've lost the first battle of the day, not because of reality, but because you gave the wrong soldiers the power to lead. Your mind will throw all kinds of thoughts at you. You can't do it. You'll never be enough. Why even try? These aren't facts. These are enemy soldiers in disguise. And if you don't stand up and say, "Hold the hell up, I'm in charge here," they will take over. And once they do, they don't stop. They'll chain your ambition, kill your focus, cripple your energy, and you'll go through life half awake, full of dreams, but paralyzed by thoughts that never belonged to you in the first place. Think about how often you've talked yourself out of greatness. Not because you weren't capable, but because you surrendered. You handed over the mic to the weakest part of yourself. You let fear narrate your story. That's like letting a drunk driver take the wheel while you sit in the back, hoping everything turns out fine. But it won't. Thoughts are powerful. They build your belief system. They sculpt your reactions. They shape how you see the world, and more importantly, how you see yourself. If you don't step up and start leading your thoughts, if you don't filter out the poison and elevate the strong ones, you're just a hostage in your own mind. And a hostage can't dream freely. A hostage can't create. A hostage can't rise. Negative thoughts aren't truth. They're undisciplined habits. You hear that voice in your head that says you're not good enough, that you'll never make it, that nobody cares. That voice isn't wisdom. That voice isn't reality. That's a broken mental routine you've repeated so many times. It sounds like truth, but it's not. It's just a lazy script your mind keeps playing because you've never forced it to learn a new one. And just like any bad habit, if you don't cut it off at the root, it spreads like a virus. People think negative thinking is just being realistic. No, it's being trained by fear. It's living life on defense, always bracing for failure, always preparing for heartbreak, always expecting the worst, and then calling it wisdom. That's not smart. That's survival mode. And survival mode is where dreams go to die. You don't build legacies in survival mode. You don't chase greatness when you're busy dodging ghosts that don't even exist. Every time you think, I'm not enough, your brain wires that thought a little deeper. That's neuroplasticity. That's how the brain works. Whatever you feed, it strengthens. Whatever you ignore, it weakens. So when you feed negative thoughts daily, through your words, your self-talk, your silence, you're literally building mental muscle that works against you. You're training a voice inside your own head to bully you. And worse, you start believing it's your own voice. You've seen it in real life. Someone gets rejected once. Suddenly they think they'll never find love. Someone fails at a business. Now they believe they're not cut out for success. One bad speech, one lost job, one rough breakup, and boom, that single moment becomes a lifelong identity. Why? Because they let one negative thought set up camp in their mind. And they didn't kill it, they fed it. They nurtured it. And now it's multiplying. You have to treat negative thoughts like intruders, like thieves breaking into your peace. You don't negotiate with them. You don't entertain them, you eliminate them. If your mind says, you're going to fail, you don't say, maybe. You say, get the hell out, because the longer they stay, the more they replicate. And before you know it, your entire mindset is built around lies you never questioned. Lies that feel like home, just but they've been around long enough. Thoughts shape actions, and actions create your destiny. You don't rise above the level of your mindset. That's not just a quote, that's reality in motion. Every single thing you do, how you talk, how you walk, how you handle problems, how you chase goals, it all starts with one silent whisper in your mind. If that whisper is filled with doubt, fear, weakness, you move different. You play small. You hesitate when you should strike. You settle when you should rise. But if that whisper is sharp, focused, driven, you walk like you own the room, even if you're broke, unknown, or starting from zero. People think success starts with opportunity. No, it starts with mentality. Two people can be given the same chance. One sees a door, not skill, not luck, just mindset. One says, I can figure this out. The other says, this is too hard. One takes the shot, the other backs down. And that one decision creates two completely different lives. You ever wonder why some people keep winning, even when the odds are stacked against them? It's not magic. It's not connections. It's mindset. They've trained their mind to see problems as puzzles, not prisons. They've trained themselves to act, not overthink. To move, not freeze. And once your thoughts are wired for execution instead of hesitation, your actions get sharper, faster, bolder. You start building habits, routines, systems, and those systems create results. Look at anyone who's built something great: athletes, CEOs, creators, warriors. They didn't get there on talent alone. They got there because they learned early on that if your mind ain't locked in, your feet won't move. And even if they do, they won't go far because your body follows your thoughts. You can't take consistent, powerful action from a weak mindset. You think you're stuck because of your circumstances, but you're stuck because your thoughts said, "This is where you belong," and you believed it. That belief shaped your effort. That effort shaped your results. And those results shape the life you're living right now. That's how deep it goes. You are not what you want. You are what you think. And until that thinking evolves, nothing else will. The voice in your head can be your best coach or your worst enemy. Train it, or it'll train you to lose. And the scary part, that voice never stops talking. From the moment you open your eyes to the moment you sleep, it's running, giving commentary on your life like a 24/7 sports announcer. The problem is, most people never question who gave that voice the mic, never realize that voice has been shaped by past pain, failures, criticisms, toxic environments. Not truth, not logic, just emotion and repetition. And if you don't grab control of it, that voice will run your life straight into the ground. You miss a workout, it says, "See, you're lazy." You speak up and get rejected, it says, "Told you to stay quiet." You try something new, it says, "What if you fail again?" It's not correcting you. It's controlling you. That's not a coach. That's a saboteur in your mind wearing your voice, using your memories as ammo. But that same voice, if trained right, can become a weapon. It can hype you up when no one else believes. It can remind you of who you are when the world tries to make you forget. It can get you out of bed when you're tired, push you through pain when it hurts, keep your head high even when everything around you is collapsing. That voice can be your edge or your anchor. It all comes down to how you feed it. What you tell yourself in private becomes your standard in public. If you keep saying, "I can't," guess what? You won't. If your inner dialogue is built on weakness, you'll act soft. If it's filled with power, discipline, and intent, you'll walk different. Think about elite athletes, soldiers, entrepreneurs. They don't just train their bodies or build skills. They train that internal voice to talk like a damn champion. That voice becomes their fuel, their fire, their shield. You want to change your life? Start with that voice. Audit it, rewire it, get loud with it. Because if you don't teach you how to speak strength, it'll teach you how to stay small. And once it starts coaching you to quit, you'll quit on things that were already yours. Just because the voice convinced you it was too far, too hard, too late. You said, mental mastery is self-mastery. When you own your thoughts, you unlock real freedom, not the kind of freedom they sell in advertisements or show on screens. Not money, not vacations, not luxury, but the type of freedom where no one, and I mean no one, can touch your peace. The kind where your emotions don't swing every time life throws a curveball. The kind where chaos can be erupting outside, but you're still calm on the inside because you run your mind doesn't run you. You ever notice how some people walk through pressure like it doesn't even faze them? It's not that their life is easier. It's that their mind is stronger. They've mastered the art of not reacting to every negative thought that pops up. They don't flinch at failure. They don't break from setbacks. Why? because they've trained their brain like a soldier, disciplined it, conditioned it. They're not driven by emotions, they're driven by purpose. That's power. You see people trying to control everything, their schedule, their surroundings, even other people, but they never stop to control what actually matters, their internal world. What good is being rich, popular, successful if every time something doesn't go your way, you mentally collapse? That's not success. That's mental slavery. Because the real prison isn't behind bars, it's behind the forehead. And the only key out is awareness and control. You want to change how you feel, you got to change how you think. Every reaction, every decision, every mood swing, it all starts in your head. The moment you realize that your thoughts aren't facts, they're choices, you start to take the wheel. You stop being a puppet pulled by anxiety, fear, anger. You stop blaming the world and start building a fortress inside. Freedom isn't doing what you want. It's not being controlled by what you shouldn't. It's walking into stressful moments and not losing yourself. It's hearing that old voice of doubt and choosing not to obey it. It's standing in front of your past and not letting it write your future. That's mental mastery. That's the rare air where confidence is born, where clarity lives, where discipline thrives. And most people never taste it because they're too busy trying to fix the world while ignoring the war inside their own mind. You said, and now here's the truth that hits harder than any setback you've ever faced. Your life will only go as far as your mind allows it to. You can't live like a lion with the mindset of a lamb. You can't conquer anything out there until you conquer what's going on in here. The battlefield isn't in your job, your family, your surroundings. The real war is between your ears. And if you don't win that war, every win on paper will still feel like a loss inside. You've got dreams. Good. But if your mind ain't built to chase them with relentless focus and unshakable belief, then they'll die a slow death inside your head, murdered by procrastination, self-doubt, fear, and every excuse you've ever used. The saddest thing in this world is wasted potential, and every time you let those weak thoughts take the driver's seat, you're wasting yours. Listen, pressure is a privilege. Struggle is your gym. Doubt is your opponent. But you've got something more powerful than all of it. Choice. The choice to rise. The choice to change your story. The choice to silence the noise in your head and speak new power into your spirit. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to decide that enough is enough, because one decision, one shift in mindset can flip your entire life. Muhammad Ali said, "I am the greatest. I said that even before I knew I was." Will Smith said, "Being realistic is the most commonly traveled road to mediocrity." And Denzel Washington himself said, "Ease is a greater threat to progress than hardship." So stop chasing ease. Chase growth. Chase discipline. Chase the version of you that doesn't flinch when life gets loud. You weren't born to be a slave to your thoughts. You were born to own them, to bend them, to use them like weapons. You've been given the most powerful tool in existence, your mind. And now is the time to sharpen it, not sabotage it. Master it, not fear it. Because once you do, the world outside won't control you anymore. You will walk into every room like you belong, face every storm like it was built for you, and rise every time like you never fell. That's not hype. That's power.
That's freedom.
And it starts with mastering what's already inside you.